So following week 1 of the beta and getting a good amount of playtime means I got to use quite a few of the weapons in Modern Warfare. However, due to the beta being PlayStation exclusive for the first weekend, we have a whole new pool of players coming this next weekend here in weekend 2 with Xbox and PC. With those players coming into this brand new game here this weekend and never playing it, I thought today would be a perfect time to do a top 5 weapons from last weekend in the beta to help give you guys a jump start and know what guns to use coming into this weekend. Now, first of all, these are all in my opinion. These are all subjective. These are in my order, the list in weapons in which I think are the best, the ones I had the most success with, and overall the ones I feel like are just going to work well for a variety of different play types, and I think you guys will enjoy a lot of these weapons. So let's get right into it. I do want to start really quickly with one kind of honorable mention, and I just want to let people know that are fans of sniping, the one sniper in this beta, the AX50, is an absolute monster. Now, this isn't a gun, obviously, that should make the top 5 list because, you know, being a sniper, it's more of a skill weapon. It's not going to be a weapon that fits in a top 5 category. But for those of you that do enjoy sniping, do like sniping a lot, the AX50 sniper rifle in Modern Warfare is an absolute beast. Very few hit markers with this gun, does a lot of damage, and you can also get an attachment in this game being the rear grip to help with that slower ADS time that we have in snipers this year. So I just want to throw that in here as a kind of a quick honorable mention that if you do like sniping, use the AX50, give it a shot. It's an absolute beast. And running overkill in this game as well, pretty solid choice. Anyway, moving in here to our top 5. Now, starting at number 5, this one might ruffle some feathers a little bit. I'm going to put the MP7. Now, a lot of people love this gun, and rightfully so. It's a very good weapon. It kind of sucks that I have to put it here at number 5 because it's honestly a very good weapon, so don't take that to heart like it's a bad weapon or anything. MP7, very good SMG. It kills very quickly up close, does its job as an SMG with a high fire rate. This thing also has pretty minimal recoil, so controlling it at, more of longer ranges out to about medium range isn't too difficult. However, the one downside to this gun is the damage drop-off is fairly big. You'll notice once you start getting out of more of the common SMG range that you're going to have a harder time killing people at longer ranges. It just takes that many more bullets, and that's kind of the one downfall to the MP7. However, like I said, still an extremely good weapon, one that I know a lot of people are going to want to use with it being a fan favorite, and I can't recommend enough. It's a very good weapon. Try it out, and to give some recommendations here, I'm going to try and do these with all the guns as well. One of the attachments that I do recommend the most is when you get the heavy barrel attachment for this weapon. It helps increase your bullet velocity as well as your damage range, which is going to help reduce that damage drop-off that this gun does have. It's going to make it a lot better at those ranges. So probably my number 1 recommended attachment with that. Another one also being extended mags that you can get, as you will rip through that mag pretty quick with a standard 30 bullets. But anyway, that's going to do it for the MP7 here at number 5. Moving on to number 4. Another one that some people may disagree with, I'm going to put the M13 assault rifle. This is the 3rd assault rifle that you unlock in the beta. And overall, just like the MP7, a very, very good weapon. It's not at number 4 because it's not good. I just feel like some of the other weapons are just a little bit better. So the M13 acts more of a hybrid assault rifle to where it's going to work well at SMG range due to the high fire rate. So it's going to bail you out if you are in close range gunfights with this weapon, but also does a nice job at AR range as well. Not a ton of recoil on this weapon. Very easy to control at those longer ranges. However, similar to the MP7, the one downside to the gun is that damage starts to fall off at those longer ranges. And honestly, it feels a bit inconsistent at those ranges as well, because sometimes I will have those situations to where I am able to get kills at those longer ranges, and then I have other times where it seems like it's taking 7, 8, 9 bullets, which obviously just isn't ideal for using an assault rifle. So again, that is my one downfall with this gun. Unfortunately, I don't believe there was a heavy barrel attachment to put on this weapon to help with that damage range. So if you do use the M13, just know that it's not going to excel as well at the longer ranges as it would up close or mid-range, but if you do get in those ranges with the high fire rate on this gun, and it's fairly easy control, you should see yourself having a lot of success using this weapon. Moving on to number 3, the AUG submachine gun. So in weekend 1 of the beta, this wasn't unlocked until they increased the level cap up to 20 because this gun does unlock at level 19, but my goodness does this SMG rip. This is more of your mid-range submachine gun. Again, recoil, not really that noticeable on this weapon. Of course, you do have things like a foregrip you can use as well as a muzzle brake that will help with your recoil. But like I said, what helps this gun shine is its ability to do well at a variety of different ranges, both in its standard SMG range and also at mid-range due to the fact that it is more of a mid-range SMG. It does keep its damage at a pretty decent range, which is very nice. This thing tears people apart, and it's so nice to be able to excel at those variety ranges while also keeping that good mobility from having a submachine gun. As far as attachments I would recommend on this weapon, I do think the extended mags is kind of necessary due to the fact that you start with 25 bullets standard. It's not going to be that much of a detriment if you don't have it on there, but I do like it to get up to that 37 bullet count. I also like the pistol grip on this weapon due to the fact that it has a little bit of a slower ADS time. The pistol grip will help with that tremendously. And finally, I like the sleight of hand perks. So with the weapon perks in this game that you can equip, I like sleight of hand. The reload's not too slow, but it's just nice to be able to put that mag back in quick, go back up to those 37 bullets, and start ripping again. But overall, I love the AUG, and that is the number 3 spot. Moving up to the top 2 spots, I'm sure you guys know what weapons these are going to be, but at number 2, we have the MP5. This submachine gun is good at literally everything, and it's a little bit overpowered. It really shouldn't be as good at some things as it is, but this SMG is freaking insane. Rips up close with a very good fire rate and high damage. Very easy to use and control, has a solid hip fire to it, as well as very manageable recoil. But what makes this gun so good is how much its damage carries out to those longer ranges. This thing essentially feels like an assault rifle sometimes, which in my opinion makes it feel kind of overpowered. I feel like this was one of the guns that won people a lot of gunfights. And overall, this gun just absolutely shreds. You guys have to use this weapon and see it for yourselves if you haven't already. Assuming they don't change any of these weapons, and that goes with all the weapons on this list. They could be making weapon balancing changes for weekend 2. I haven't heard anything about it yet, so assuming that's not the case, these are my recommendations for the guns. If there are some changes, that may end up changing my list, but going in assuming that that won't happen, the MP5 is an absolute god tier gun. The best sub by far. I don't think that's much of an argument there. This thing works well with a variety of different attachments. I personally preferred it more with a sight. I know a lot of people like the iron sights, and they're not bad. It just, for me, I felt more comfortable using a sight with it. I feel like it does pretty well with a suppressor also, but it's not really much of a necessary attachment. The lightweight stock is really good on this thing to help keep that mobility while aiming down sights. The pistol grip is good as well to help get that sprint on time and that faster ADS. And I also believe this one had the weapon perk of frangible wounding, which, if I'm correct, makes it so that the enemy that you shoot, their health regen starts a little bit slower, takes a little bit longer to get back up to full, if I'm correct on that. That was the one I used quite a bit, seemed to work pretty well. Don't know how necessary it is, but that was kind of the setup that I was rolling with. And overall, as far as the grips, because if I remember correctly, this did have the angled grip as well as the vertical grip, I would lean more toward the angled grip. The vertical recoil really isn't there on that weapon that much. If anything, it's just got a little bit of side to side that may need to be managed, so I would definitely go with the angled foregrip if you are going to go with one on this weapon. Finally, moving up to the number 1 spot. I think this is pretty straightforward. You guys should know what this gun was going to be probably from the start. The M4A1, the very first gun that you unlock in this game when you unlock Karate Class, is the number 1 assault rifle, both in terms of when you unlock it and as far as its rating goes. It's unreal. There's nothing that this gun is bad at. Very good accuracy, very good fire rate, a damage that just absolutely shreds people. I believe it was broken down. I don't remember who exactly tested this, so my apologies for forgetting who put this stat out there, but it was tested that with headshots, the M4A1 can kill in 73 milliseconds, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I know that kind of has to do with the headshot lethality, but long story short, the M4 absolutely rips. It not only does it have that high damage, but it also carries out pretty much what seems to be infinitely. I mean, I didn't really have any struggles killing people along ranges with more than probably 5 shots, maybe 6, but that might have been on like the 10v10 map, if anything. This gun is unreal. Probably one of the more OP guns that I've seen in COD. There usually seems to be that one in the beta that's just that much better than all the other ones. It's the M4 in this beta, believe me. As far as attachments, I really like a sight on this thing. The iron sights aren't too bad, but they can be a little bit blocky. Definitely recommend the first red dot you unlock would be my preference. The pistol grip, very good on all the ARs. I feel like I'm recommending the pistol grip a lot, but it's a really nice attachment, and it's very good on the ARs to help with that ADS speed and the sprint out time. You can run a foregrip on it if you want. I think I did sometimes, but it wasn't that noticeable of a difference, at least to me. Definitely recommend the heavy barrel to help with that damage drop off, even though there's really not much, but it does help with that bullet velocity. You know there's nothing you're gonna have to worry about with that. And also another good one for the AR is the lightweight stock. Pretty much gives you stalker, allows you to move faster while ADSing. But honestly, with this weapon, you could run it with no attachments and still probably do very well because the weapon is that good. That's why it takes the #1 spot. But anyway, hopefully this list helps you guys coming in here to weekend 2 for those of you that haven't played. And getting down to the end of the video here for you guys on Xbox and PC, I believe, not 100%, but preloading for the beta should be live already as of the time of this video going live, assuming they're doing it just like last week. If not, my apologies, but at least make sure to go and check for your code if you pre-ordered at a retailer, or check your console if you pre-ordered from your digital store, because I believe pre-ordering should be live right now. Hopefully, it better be. Like I said, hopefully this list helps some of you guys with your weapon choices here in the beta, but honestly, with the beta, use a variety of different weapons, see what you like. But these are just my recommendations from what I used in the first weekend. Anyway, down below in the comments, for those of you that did play in weekend 1, let me know which weapons were your favorite. And for those of you guys that haven't played but kind of have an idea on the guns, which weapon are you looking forward to the most to be able to use in this beta? But anyway, that is going to do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack the Schmidt out of that like button down below. And if you guys are new and looking forward to more video game content, you guys are in the right place. Hit the subscribe button down below as well. And turn those notifications on so you guys know when those videos go live. Hopefully you guys all have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.